And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What? Let me just say podcast. I'm your host Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
I am the lesser of two evils.
And just popping in just as soon as we start the motherfucking podcast, we got Dion.
Was good. Made it just in
What
time
is
for the
that?
intro. Ain't that a bitch?
What is that atmosphere I hear in the background?
I'm on my way home from work.
Yeah, all right, that's how he's driving. All right, so gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Shit. Doing. Waiting on the results of this goddamn election because this is some bullshit.
And that's exactly where I want to fucking start at. Thank you for the transition, Dion. As of right now, it is November 5th, 2020. The time is 9:55 p.m. and we still don't know who our fucking president is. Gentlemen, I'm gonna just say it off the top. This has got to be the worst election we done had in history. Now, I've been around for like 5 elections, or I mean, more than 5, but 5 presidents. And like the only one I could say was worse than this was the one in 2000. Gentlemen, how do you feel that it's been day 3 and we still have not figured out who our motherfucking president is? Who want to start?
Well, let me just say, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked in the least. Given what happened when Trump originally got elected, I'm not shocked.
Is that it, Dion?
I mean, it's fun. No, you you know about him. Oh, filing lawsuits against some of the states where he was outvoted and shit. A couple of the judges already dismissed them cases. They not even gonna bother with his ass. So let's see how the rest of that endeavor goes. I'm hoping all the judges involved in these lawsuits or whatever against these states dismiss him and just send him on his way. But the way things stand right now, if everything goes fair and square like it should, Biden's got this.
Q to reach y'all done into the chat. How you feeling, Q to reach God?
I am feeling blessed, and I've waited longer for a smack battle. And even
As
that,
I guess you could tell, we talking about the 2020 election, and we still haven't figured out who our fucking
that's
president is. How do you
that's
feel
that's.
about that?
I feel like we need Smack to go ahead and tally up the score because he seems to know what it means to delay a battle. Um, I think Biden is about to win. I think it's just they just want to make sure for sure. I don't know. I don't know. I keep seeing memes about Nevada. Like Nevada doesn't know who won. Like, and I'm like, we know Nevada is going with Trump because they want money. It's about who's benefiting from this, like the rich people or the middle class people like us. So that's what this election is really standing on. But other than that, I almost forgot. Like, I feel like I gotta go back and look. Like, it's a YouTube video being updated. I gotta keep going and refreshing and making sure I ain't crazy. And I keep asking everybody, who's the president? Nobody knows. We don't know. It's like somebody just, I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, it's like, seems like the day is gonna go on regardless. So, like, just get it over with, please.
Father, how do you feel?
Honestly, I don't give a fuck. You know what? I said this before. I don't care. I don't care who wins because as black people, we fucked either way. But I will say this, right? I think it's very interesting that Trump is throwing a fucking tantrum about how the vote election is rigged and shit like that. But just 4 years earlier, that man colluded with the Russians and the Ukrainians and stole the election. So I find it very funny that karma is coming back to bite that ass. And the longer, and you know what? It's funny because the longer that the election sits, the better it is for Biden because he ain't really got nothing to lose at this point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he can lose the election, but like if he lose, at least he tried. Trump know that because of the precedent that he set, the bar with his presidency is really really fucking low. So if Biden wins, he could do something as simple as pass another stimulus check with a little bit more money. Like if Biden passed the stimulus check with $1,300 instead of $1,200, he would automatically be a better president than Trump already in just 2 days. You feel me? Because the bar is super fucking low because of Trump. He's actually disrespected the office of the presidency. So I feel like that's why he's so paranoid because he knows that he fucked up. But he's gonna cap and say that, well, I'm the greatest president. I did all these great things. And I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't, my nigga. Everybody knows you didn't do great shit. The only reason why you even have a platform in the first place is because a lot of people in America are incompetent, don't know how the fucking election process works, and vote for you because they love to deep throat things that they don't understand. That's always been a thing in this motherfucking country. But this particular election and Nevada, taking its sweet ass time counting these votes, I think because it's COVID and because a lot of people did mail-in ballots, they want to be extra, extra, extra sure that everybody got their vote counted in before they actually announce, who the president is and shit like that. Because again, we have an electoral college. But at the same time, people know that Biden already won this election. Like if you pay attention to politics and if you pay attention to what's going on and the tone of this election process and everything that's been going on in 2020 and shit, Biden has already won this election. I don't even think that's controversial to say at this particular point in time. And the fact that we're literally waiting for Nevada is proof. The fact that if Trump loses Pennsylvania or Georgia, he loses the election automatically anyway. That's why he's throwing this tantrum. But I always tell people, it's not Trump that you need to be worrying about. It's the Trump supporters. Them motherfuckers were out there in Phoenix, Arizona with guns drawn, talking about, they didn't have their guns drawn, but, they were armed. And, they had their Trump flags and shit like that. And they were really trying to intimidate the people that were counting the votes. So they know that they lost this election. Because if they know that they had a good chance, they would be sitting their ass at home. The fact that they are out there means they lost this election. It's just a matter of time. So whoever this president is, honestly, I'm just gonna keep doing me because I'm a black man in America. None of those motherfuckers give a fuck about me anyway. And yeah.
I'm just more so concerned about what happens after the president is elected. Whoever wins. Once the announcement is made, that's what I'm worried about. What happens after? Because I don't know how we are going to react if, and I say if, I'm gonna knock on wood, if Trump was to win. I don't know how we're going to react as a community, and then I don't know how the Trump supporters are going to react when Biden wins. So that's what I'm more concerned about. I'm not even concerned about who wins. I just want to know what's going to happen afterwards, to be honest.
Q, you seen The Boys, right?
I have.
Okay. Without spoiling it for Dion, because I know he hasn't seen all of it, ain't there some Stormfront shit that's going on right now?
Absolutely.
Bruh, this is like I was just thinking about this. And you know what's funny? I was watching a House of Cards, and this shit is similar to like this shit too. Like 2020 knows how to keep you on edge, first of all. Second of all, we need a new voting system. Obviously, we are in a digital age. I don't know why we can't just vote from in our homes. Like, why do we have to go out to like a gym or a YMCA to do voting anymore? Like, obviously, like shit's been going wrong. If it's not the voting thing, it's the mail-in ballots. It's not the mail-in ballots. It's quote unquote Sharpie gate because people have been filling out with Sharpies other than pens, even though Sharpies dry faster than pens, and the pen smudges is fucking up the glass on the toe thing. So I don't understand why we have not gone totally digital with this voting thing yet. Like this is one of the most idiotic things, and I understand like this is not the longest it took to decide who the president was. That was in 2000, and that was 35 days because Al Gore wanted a recount. But this right here, it's just like really stupid. And it seems like they didn't prepare for it because, of course, people are going to have a lot of mail-in ballots because of COVID. Like you don't want to work this election. I don't know why we didn't work this election around COVID. Everybody just, I feel like the people was us as Americans, we just said, well, just fuck it, we'll just do what we can. It shouldn't take. Now I understand we like it. We are human, so I'm not blaming the people that are tallying, but it shouldn't. I feel like it shouldn't take this long. Like it's just one of those things where if we're like techno savvy as we say we are, and American shows like American Idol and fucking The Masked Singer, hell, even Smack can tally up votes
Man,
like as quick as 30 seconds. There's no reason that it should take 3+ days to figure out, or according to North Carolina, November 12th until to get all the votes counted. No, like we might not find out who our president is until November 12th. That's what they're telling. If if Biden doesn't win fucking Atlanta, Georgia, which kind of looks like he is because that's like a percentile, like damn near under like a .1 percentage of who's going to win that one. So that one should be interesting to see how that one get out. Second of all, Trump, you might as well pack it up, baby. You might as well pack. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be aware about the Trump supporters, but I'm not really say afraid because they're gonna do. My thing is, if we're ready and prepared for it, we shouldn't. It shouldn't be a problem. Plus, I really don't think a bunch of Trump supporters are gonna go into a hood and fuck with black people like that. This is my personal opinion. Like, I don't think no Trump supporters are gonna go in there because if they got guns, we got guns too. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
yeah,
Any
I don't think they want to mess with us with guns.
yeah. Well, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
There should
Kanye
be a
West for
lesson.
president. Hey,
That
Q.
nigga got
he
50,000
got
votes.
50,000 votes.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Kanye, man.
Let's
Kanye,
go. Let's
let's
go.
go.
Let's
I
go.
don't. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Kanye fan. Q,
I love
Kanye
Kanye.
fan.
I
Father
love
is
Kanye.
nowhere near a Kanye fan.
Yeah,
Not
he
so
Never
sure
hates him.
about
will be.
Dion.
He hates him.
He hates him. So, Kanye, man,
I was cool with Ye until he started doing and saying certain shit.
there's our answer.
My,
So,
that's all I got to say about Ye.
I don't. I'm
okay.
not. I've learned to not judge an artist for what he does as a human being, but I've learned to judge him by his artistry, and that's where people seem to get misconstrued to why I still like Kanye West. Kanye West is a human being. I know some crazy ass motherfucking psychopaths who go from church to crazy to church to crazy to isolation to church to like I know people like that on a daily basis. He just happens to be like one of the most musically gifted people to ever walk the face of the earth. So I can't really dock his artistry for his natural, you know what I'm saying, personality. Like I wouldn't hang around Kanye West, but I still listen to his music. Like that's just me. Like even the old Kanye West, I don't know if I would have hung around him like that. Like he was he was a little weird, you know, but so you never know. But yeah, that's why we still love Kanye West. For anybody who wonders, we don't support anything. You can enjoy an artist without supporting their beliefs in some ways. Like I still listen to Lil Wayne and he supported Donald Trump. We're all entitled to our own personal beliefs and what we decide to follow, what we decide to, what I'm saying, how we decide to direct our lives. So I can't be mad at we have to learn as black people not to judge our own black people for not having the same mindset as we do, because that's where the separation goes between us. You know, we have to continue to love our black people, even though they're crazy. Love Kanye West, man. The nigga's crazy, but he's a genius, bro. Some of the stuff he says is true. He just says it quick. He just, you know, the whole Taylor Swift thing. I mean, let's be real. It was honestly true. Like it was true, but it was like Kanye West. You're not supposed to do that. Stop. That is like, shut the fuck up. You're not supposed to say that shit out loud. That's like when your mother tap you when you say something in front of the family that you're not supposed to say, but she taught you to be brutally honest. But the one time you're honest, she's like, shut the fuck up. You're not supposed to tell my business like that. Like, that's how that is. So, yeah.
Thank you for that, Q. I was actually going to ask a question. The question I was going to ask is Kanye getting 60,000 votes. Would you consider this a win for Kanye or a L? And also, do you think that us as black people can learn from him running for president? That goes for anybody, if anybody wants to answer that.
I seem to be the only one that wants to talk about Kanye West. Nobody else likes him. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, personally, I feel like it's a win because, you know, he probably, you know, this was great. Like this is pretty good. 50,000 votes. That, you know, that means like a couple every state was like, yeah, I vote for Kanye. Fuck this. I don't want to vote for these white people. I want to vote for the black man.
He got 10K in Tennessee alone.
Damn. That's black people. Bam, right there. Right there. They was like, man, fuck that. We rather Kanye West be president. And I said that too, even though, you know, I've already cast my ballot, my vote. But, you know, I was thinking like, hey, maybe, you know, Kanye West might be the answer. It just don't seem like neither one of these people are really, you know, honest. And let's be real. What was so bad about Kanye West's campaign besides the fact that he was Kanye West? I want to know.
Can I add to that? Can I add to that
Go
quick
ahead.
fast?
Yeah, go ahead. I really want to
Now,
know. This is a legit question.
now, I'm not going to say, you know, there was anything good or bad about Kanye running. The fact that anyone voted for him in general, that's a victory. That's a victory for him on a moral level. That's a victory for him. But I will say this: the one thing that Donald Trump himself proved, and that Kanye West I feel tried to take advantage of, if a motherfucker with no type of political or whatever experience can become the motherfucking president of the United States, anything is possible. If nobody else is a shining example of literally anything is possible, got to be Donald Trump. Got to be Donald Trump. He said, I mean, there are other people who went from, you know, entertainment fields, you know, Schwarzenegger, you know, a couple of other, you know, athletes and, you know, actors and whatnot to go into politics and have successful political careers.
But here's
So, no,
a
all I'm saying is for all the stuff that even I was kind of like, what Kanye? Fuck no, you know. But same time, again, anything's possible. I feel like honestly, Trump has opened a floodgate. I repeat, yes, we've seen other people come from other fields that had nothing to do with politics at all. You know, take take office somewhere and have outstanding, you know, political careers, make, you know, do a lot of good. But Trump has opened a floodgate. I think we're going to see more of that now. More business owners, more pro athletes and rappers and actors and whatever transition into politics and, you know, try to do something now. I feel
but I
like Trump has
mean,
opened a floodgate, and we're going to see a lot more of this in the future.
I felt like we've always had that. But no, what I'm about to say, we've always had that you know what I'm saying mindset. I mean, like everybody used to always say we Oprah should run for president. Like, no, she shouldn't. Like, I think I was like
Because
one of the
because
few.
I was about to say, would you have really voted for Oprah?
No, not
I
because
was straight
she,
about to ask
not
that.
because she's a woman. Let me get that very clear. It is not because she's a woman. It's because she's Oprah. How the fuck? Like what? Like no. I don't trust Oprah's fucking like you don't know these people's, you know what I'm saying, political beliefs sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You might just think Oprah is Oprah, but in reality, Oprah might not give a fuck about us as a fucking entirety. She might cater more to the rich people. Donald Trump. But that's because she's rich. He's rich. These are people who like y'all got to start reading shit between the lines. Donald Trump is just. I told y'all the last time. Donald Trump is just incompetent. He's just stupid. That's it. That's the problem. He's dumb. He's dumb as shit. He's not even a smart person. Just
It,
jumping in
he,
the
he,
field of
he,
politics.
and then see, it's more than just him being just flat out stupid. He's also spoiled, and him acting the way he's been over the fact that he's clearly losing this election is solid proof of that fact.
He's a rich dude who's always had whatever he wants, but now it's falling. It's like, come on. But I knew this would happen. Like I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. It's just ridiculous, and it's funny actually. So I'm just really kicking my feet up, just watching him just like look stupid. But but like I tell people, we still have to deal with him for a couple of months until you know.
Yeah, until Biden gets sworn in and all that good shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So he'll still be strutting his stuff around the fucking city.
Let me ask all of you a question. Do you think that you can vote away your problems?
No.
Vote away your problems,
Yeah.
then we would have no problems.
That's
Elaborate.
that's
Elaborate.
an interesting that's an interesting question.
Like yeah, like if we could vote away our problems, we would have no problems. Like who wouldn't want to vote away their problems? But then even that would still cause issues because everybody's problems are different. So how would you be able to assess that? That's a great fucking question, Father.
Can you imagine being able to do that though? Like vote all your problems, like just vote cancer out of existence or some shit like that?
But here's the crazy part, Dion. What if your problem is somebody else's solution? How does that work?
Hey man, it, the extermination of black people and us being down at the bottom solves a lot of solves a lot for a lot of people because that's less
Ex-
competition for them.
exactly. Now you see. Now you get where I'm coming from. Like it's so fucked up because you know a lot of people don't want us to be superior. They don't even
I
want us
mean,
to be They don't even want us to be eye to eye. They don't. It's a fuck superiority. They don't want us to be equal at all because equal to a black. If we if we really had equal opportunity, equal right, like we would still be better. Like, it's crazy.
Tony, what you think? Do you think you can vote away our problems? Tony, you there?
No, you can't vote away your problems, man. I mean, you can help with certain stuff. You can't vote away your problems, though.
I guess the real question is, do you really consider this voting away your problems? But I've kind of seen videos of like this dude. I guess this one family, the mother was yelling at her son because he voted independent, and she was like, you might as well vote for Trump or some shit like that because they try to get him out. But he like he looked at her and was like, I ain't voting no more because you know.
Yeah, 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 Ray. So and I agree. I like the fact that you posted that video and I saw it because I
Mhm.
have been saying for the very longest time, stop telling people to just vote because that's Vegas shit. Obviously, you want people to vote to get a certain motherfucker out. People will. The only reason why black people was even anal about voting in the first place was because they wanted to get rid of Trump. I don't think anybody with a brain wanted Biden to be the president, but he
Thank
was
you.
the choice
Oh
that
my
we had.
god. Oh
He was
my
the choice that
fucking
we had. So
god. Oh
these
my god.
Negroes sitting there talking about, well, if you didn't vote, then you're part of the problem. Shut the hell up. The problem
Oh
has
my
been persistent for 150 years. You're only just really saying that shit because one, you don't want Trump in office, in which I agree with you. Nobody wants that motherfucking office. But number two, you just saying vote just to vote, just like it solves nothing. All it does, it just replaces one slave master with another, and you back at square motherfucking one. And then we gonna spend the better part of our day waiting for the next hashtag of a brother that got shot by the cops, all because you didn't G check the nigga that you were voting for in the first place. So when that mother was yelling at her son, "Yo, that's a vote for Trump," shut the hell up. Because if you were actually educated about the electoral system in America, you would come to find out that no, it wasn't exactly a vote for Trump. And no, just because you don't vote doesn't mean that it goes towards Trump or that it benefits Trump in any way. There was a lot of people that sat out this election and the last election because their problems were not mentioned in their platforms. And not only that, they were actually undermining a lot of the people that were voting in the first place. Like right now, there's been a lot of tweets talking about throwing black men under the bus because 18% of black men voted for Trump. 18% of the people that voted that were black men voted for Trump, which is supposed to, Trump the 80% of black men that voted for Biden because they shoehorned themselves into voting for the lesser of two evils. So when you push that type of narrative, nobody fucking wins. But you sitting there coming to me, sitting in my face telling me, well, our ancestors died for the right to vote. No, motherfucker, you don't know your history. Your ancestors did not die for you to vote. Your ancestors died so you could get something for your motherfucking vote. What are you going to get with Biden?
thank you.
Oh, damn. Not to mention, let me piggyback off you, father. Especially like how Trump got Florida, and this has been on the news all day. That out of the Miami-Dade County area, like a lot of Latinos was voting for Trump. Matter of fact, this is probably like the highest gross of Latinos voting for Trump ever. So like especially around in Florida, and it's funny you say that because I understand there's like different types of Latinos. You got your Puerto Ricans, your Cubans, your Mexicans. So you don't really so it doesn't really um decipher who was voting for who. But anybody knowing like Florida is usually like Cubans and Puerto Ricans. So you're wondering. I was wondering who's like specifically voting for him. So because I don't see like Mexicans really voting for Trump if he out there putting your peoples in cages. And from what the church done been saying is like, yeah, black men and black first off, black men is like, yeah, 17, 18. And I've also seen that black women is like 13. So like for some reason Biden was so people didn't fuck with Biden so much that it doubled from 2016 that because only 8% of black women was voting for Biden. So now it's just like now moved up to like 13 or 14% now. So that should be saying something too. I think it shows that we're not just going to just settle for the right if we're not going to give our tangibles or something like that. So, but I think everybody should take a look at it. Like if white men wasn't voting that much for Trump, that should be saying something. More white women was voting for Trump than he was. So I think a lot of people need to be looking at that. So it's not just black people, and that's one another thing. I don't want black people to be scapegoats on this. Even I'm pretty sure like Biden's going to win from what it looks like because I'm looking at Georgia now, and it's like neck and neck. and it's really, really neck and neck. And I'm pretty sure by the time it ends, you're gonna see more people voting for Biden than Trump. So that's how close it is. But I don't want black men to be the scapegoats, and I'm pretty sure a lot of black men see that too because there's already, like Father said, there's already some narratives on Twitter. It's just we not. I'm pretty sure black men not gonna have that. We especially since we done vocalize our disdain for both Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And I understand that you want to, like you said, you want to get Trump out there, but um, either he goes or stays. It's like no one should be putting the blame on nobody, especially black men. We should not be the scapegoats, and that's just my opinion on that. Uh, um, any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Disband the electoral college, please, God.
Yeah, we need a new system. Also, one thing I'm gonna say, I do feel like black people can learn a lot from Kanye running for president because he's showing y'all that he can do it. If you can do it, I think Kanye is one of the people who's like anything he set his mind to, he's going to do it. And like he has no fear in doing it. I'm pretty sure he knew he wasn't going to win, but the fact that he did it and he got 60,000 votes, I feel like you said, that is a win because imagine what he could have done with time, and maybe if he had the right ideas and all that. But I'm pretty sure people who's not going to vote for him. But I do feel like it's a win for Kanye, and I think what he's really trying to show is like we can do even like if you're not mentally shackled, you could do whatever you want, even run for president and all that other stuff. So I feel like we could take this as a learning opportunity. And if you disagree, that's fine with that. But that's how I kind of feel about that. Um,
Hey, on that note, man, it would be okay if he did that stuff for himself. But being that Trump's secretary put the papers in him for him to vote, it's kind of sketchy. I mean, for uh Trump's secretary put his papers in to put his name on the list for the ballot. And it's just, I figure it's like Trump using him to get the black votes. So more votes would go on him. But if he would have did it himself, he would have like did it himself, put the paperwork in himself and did it like that, I would think it's better. I don't think it's a win though. I just think he just rich people, stable rich people, man. They want their tax breaks. They doing whatever they want to do for these tax rates. That's why 50 Cent probably said the same thing what he wanted to say. A lot of rich people sticking to it because they want them tax breaks. And I mean, sometimes it's not even about us black people. I think it's just tax breaks are making money for real. That's my opinion.
I'm not gonna argue with that. Like I said, if you feel like it's not a win, or he was just doing it for himself, I I think you have a point. But I don't. Maybe I'm just optimistic and looking on the bright side of this because I feel like anybody that felt like you can't do something just because of some handicap is just. I feel like and I understand Kanye is rich too. Like Kanye is a billionaire, so he could probably pull shit like this. But it's just like wherever level you at, if you really want it, you should might as well just go do it and say
N-
fuck it.
not even him being rich. The little Asian guy was rich too, but you never seen that nigga out, talking to people,
Andrew
asking
Wayne,
people.
you talking about
You
Wayne?
never. Now I'm talking about Kanye West. When he
Uh,
when he put his name on about it, you never seen him like talking to people, going to communities and doing shit like that. No time during this race he never did that. Everything he did was like from off Instagram or his wife was saying shit. So it's I still like I said, I don't think it's a win. I think he's a lot of people lose what it is to be black when they got too much money and not realizing that that shit don't change because you black. Just my opinion.
and on that note, we're gonna go on to our next topic. Um, we never talked about Walter Wallace Jr., didn't we? We never really talked about that, didn't we? the guy from Philly that got shot. So we never really talked about that, really.
I
Anyway,
don't think he did.
Anyway,
He's, I'm
police
looking at
officers
the
fatally shot a 27-year-old black man armed with a knife during a confrontation Monday afternoon in West Philly, in an incident that quickly raised tensions in the neighborhood and sparked a standoff that lasted deep into the night. Late Monday into early Tuesday, police struggled with the respond to vandalism and looting along a commercial corridor of 52nd Street, an area that was the scene of clashes between police and protesters earlier this summer. At least one vehicle was set on fire Monday night and destroyed. Basically, the Walter Wallace Jr. He basically had autism, and what they don't tell you is they've been called from that house before, so they are aware of him. So this time, when he was charging at him with a knife, they shot him like 13 times, and it was caught on camera. Now it was like three cops and it's just one dude, and it's like the reason why it sparked out because they thought it should have been handled to a point where it shouldn't they shouldn't have shot him, and the fact that he did have autism, they should have had someone there that would help him calm him down instead of just shooting him. So Dion, you wanted to talk about this and you wanted to bring up mental health issues, and I'm going to start with you. How did you feel about the whole thing?
Well, I wanted to talk about the mental health thing because of that and the situation with the baby's brother with him committing suicide. But and what I wanted to say was going to kind of blanket, both of those instances about how um, mental health, especially amongst the black community, it's one of those things that just kind of it gets glossed over too often. And I'm not going to speak ill of the families of the people involved in both these situations. All I'm going to say is it's something that it, these are things that could have been prevented simply by checking on and keeping better tabs of your people. When they got these kind of issues and problems going on. You know, Too often we see tragedies happen when these type of things go unchecked. So many people who, you know, let's just call it what it is. They suffer in silence. They don't get they need in a lot of cases. They don't get the support they need. I feel I feel like someone in his family could have could have done something to and this is and again I point no blame. I'm not speaking ill of anybody. But I feel like something could have been done by someone in Walter Wallace Jr.'s family to prevent that whole ordeal. I feel like something could have been done on that level. The same thing with, this whole thing with the baby's brother. Someone could have done something to stop that man from doing what he did to himself. You know, now, that being said, the police who shot Walter Wallace Jr. still in the wrong. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you try to dissect or slice that situation, it's three of y'all, and all he's got is a knife. They could have disarmed that man, no problem. It's three old grown ass men versus one dude with a knife. There was no reason for guns to be drawn. Not when they had him outnumbered and outclassed like that. They could have used a taser or something. But on those two things and the whole just the mental health thing like I mentioned before, man. Something could be done on a lower level. I feel like to where the police didn't have to get involved in the that issue Walter Wallace Jr. in the first place, and someone could have done or said something to prevent what happened with the baby's brother. I can't remember his government's name on the top of my head, and I apologize. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Anybody else got a take on that?
Uh, I actually brought this up last week, and uh, I really said my piece for real. But to respond to what Dion was saying, um, I don't think necessarily you can expect a family. First of all, it was his mom that was out there, and first of all, yeah, that was the first thing. It was him and his mom, and that's the first thing that caught my attention. And it's his neighbors, people that know him, and he's on his street. I'm just going by just scenarios, just how we've all been raised, like in an area where we're comfortable, where we typically know our neighbors. We know that one person. What I'm saying, I've worked with people with autism. What I'm saying, so I understand that situation, and no way possible. There's no way in hell that a police officer is supposed to shoot in that situation. And the fact that it's documented that this is a house that has been called because there is a person there who has special needs. It's been documented numerous occasions. It's already on file. There should be a protocol. There should be procedures in place for these situations to prevent these things, because you just shot an innocent autistic man in front of his mother on the street he lived on his entire life. Everybody on that street just watched the man die on the same street that he was raised on because because three officers didn't take in consideration of somebody's mental health. This is like I said, I've worked with people like this, so it really touched a certain part of my heart, where knowing that I could see in the video before they announced that he had mental health issues. I could see in the video that it was a mental health issue. Like I knew it. So it's fucked up. And just to see him get shot in front of his mother, like 13, 14, 15, I think what it was, 16 shots, something. Just like you shot him that many times in front of his mother, dog. No way. There's no way possible.
Anybody else?
It's scary to think of that situation. And Raymond, my daughter is autistic. Because uh,
Right.
so when it been so many times I took her to stores like Target and loud noises, or sometimes if she try to express herself, she can't get out. She just starts spazzing out, and people be looking and be thinking like you should beat your daughter or saying comments like that without actually knowing. More actually not knowing this is more than one spectrum of autism. Like all autism kids don't act the same. Whenever you try to be educated on special needs kids, man, and it hurts you because people be afraid first rather than trying to help, and wind up doing the wrong thing, and it is so fucking dangerous, especially for as a police officer in that predicament.
Yeah, I totally get it. I have I don't know, most people know I have a little brother that's like mildly autistic, and like sometimes I do have to one. I don't really have to track carefully, but there are things where I feel like I can't do. I don't want to say do much, but I have to learn differently how to go about ways of communicating with him, because like you really can't communicate him. I really can't communicate with him the same way I communicate with a lot of people. And like Tony said, a lot of people with autism is different from a lot of people. So you kind of like have to know the person. Um, and for this, like, I felt like I'm them cops. Like for one, them cops really didn't have to shoot him. They were like, I understand. Like he's a squirrely looking dude, and I've always said squirrely dudes are harder to take down than like big muscly dudes or like fast dudes. Because squirrely dudes, like for some reason, they can get out of anything. But they shouldn't like for real. They shouldn't have shot him. That I think that what I saw there was kind of messed up, and like especially in front of his mother. I feel like if anything, they could have calmed him down. Like and then like as someone that's been in security, and they tell you like, you know, we have better ways in how military security has better ways of subduing someone than the damn cops. It really says something. Like even then, I know they have tasers. They could have tased them, at least got him down, or at least I can. And now I can understand why people are like defund the police, or it's just like have don't have the police go out there. Have someone that's good with mental health out there and all that other stuff. Have some way that way the police don't have to worry about doing problems like this because obviously they don't know a lot of them really don't know how to handle that situation, and it shows. So that's can really be fucking dangerous at one point. And also speaking on because he was talking about the baby situation. One thing I've always said about people that suicide, you don't know. Like a lot of people is like they suffer in silence, but a lot of them is like, and this is really what I've learned that sometimes you really don't know when they're going through it sometimes. Like they could put on the biggest front and you may never know it. You could have a conversation with them, like and they like in the best of moods, but like the next day you find out someone like done killed himself and shit and you're just wondering like how. You're like the man was doing good. I do understand like you never know what struggles they was going through, but at the same time I've always said this, it's just that they have to let they have to let us know too. Because I've always said suicide. Like I've said this before, no one wins in a suicide. Now I understand there's not supposed to be a winner or a loser in a suicide, but at the same time, it's like it's so hard to defend, especially if that person is good and you never really knew he was going through shit like this. It's like and sometimes you want to help that person, but you also they got to let you in too. And and a lot of them that be going through shit don't really let a lot of people in, and that's I've noticed that a lot in this generation. Like, especially like a lot of people are depressed. It's just like I try my best to talk to all my friends, but it's like at another point it is. I tell people it is like a two-way street. You kind of like gotta let them in. Like they have to let you in for you to like at least have that conversation with someone. Like, but the most I can say is just check on your friends. Like, if they're doing good, hopefully, you know, you be the one to put a smile on their face, make them live the next day, and let them see like life is worth living. That's the only thing I can say about it. Father, you have anything to say on this?
um, I'm mostly going to be speaking on the mental health stuff because, like, on this podcast, we've had a lot of conversations about mental health. And I've said this before in your podcast, and I'm going to say it again because I honestly, truly, not only do I believe it, but it is being shown every day. The United States of America, as it stands right now, does not give a fuck about mental health. And I've always said this, and that has always been my position. Because if they cared about mental health, a lot of shit in society would have changed. A lot of the imagery that we've seen would have changed. A lot of the